Karma, 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 chameleon. You come and go, you come and go. Hey friends, welcome back to Psychopath Exposure. I'm your host, Kita. Mega Rockstar says, there is no big karma event. The fact is, the narc's life is their karma. Think about yourself as the victim. The narc had a good, loving person who would have loved them forever. And they would have had a long and deep, loving relationship. But they abused you. So eventually, you walked away from the narc. So the narc has received their karma because the narc lost you. You know, we talk about karma and whether the narcissist is going to get their karma. I'm a firm believer that we all get what's coming to us. Everything we do in this life has a consequence or 30,000 consequences. And for the people with narcissist personality disorder that have truly caused harm and damage to good people on the planet, I also believe that their life is their karma. Because they have caused so much harm that I don't think they have enough lifespan to pay back their debt. So rather than karma coming and catching up to them at some point, I do believe that for a lot of these individuals, a lot of these psychopaths, their everyday life is a bloody debt, a karmic bloody debt that they're carrying, that they're paying for every single moment. They cannot be in a job without fear of losing it. They cannot be in a relationship without sabotaging it. They can't sit still without chasing some sort of clout or validation. They just can't sit still with themselves. Have you ever heard the expression, wherever you go, there you are? I remember I heard of that a long time ago. Didn't make sense at first, but eventually it did. And you can blame everybody. You can blame the government. You can blame the president. You can blame the mutants protesting. You can blame whatever you want to blame. But wherever you go, there you are. Wherever you go, doesn't matter. You carry your personality with you. You carry your trauma with you. You carry your fears. And if you happen to be carrying a narcissistic personality disorder, you will carry that too. And you will, unfortunately, pay the price. The consequences come as a packaged deal. So if you've dated a narcissist, if you've dated a psychopath, if a psychopath has temporarily ruined your life, and I do say temporarily because it feels like it's going to be forever. I remember I was going through something at some point, and someone that I thought was going to help me turned out not to help me at all. But there was one thing that they did say, and they were like, this is not going to be like this forever. And I look back now, and it's like, oh, he was right. Things definitely changed, even though it seemed like they were going to be like that for a long time, because they were like that for a long time. And he was like, remember, this is nothing's forever. Everything's temporary. And I look back at that situation now, and it's like, wow, that was a long time ago. That was a long time ago already. Like, the situation happened, felt like forever, and I have already, like, tripled the time without that situation in my life. So think of like, I remember I worked in a company for 3 months. It was probably the worst job I ever had. I was there for 90 days, right? Those 90 days felt like 90 years. When I look back at that time in my life, it felt like I was there forever. What horrible, horrible, horrible job. At least I had a job, but it was pretty bad. And when I got my 90-day review, I'm not going to get into the details as to why, but I quit. Best decision I ever made. And I lined up a better job, and the rest was history. But those 90 days, I suffered. Those 90 days, I was miserable. Those 90 days, everybody in the company would tell me, oh, we've been here for 15 years. I remember when we were just like you saying that we were going to leave. Because that's what I was telling them. I was like, I'm not going to be here forever. Like, this is temporary, guys. And everybody's like, yeah, sure. We all said the same thing. And look at us now. 15 years later, 10 years later, 12 years later. And I was like, I'm not going to be like you guys. I still have a friend that works there. And he's been there for like 25 years now. But I digress. So these things, especially these relationships with these narcissists, they make your life such a living inferno that your days, they mesh together. You lose track of time. You're constantly daydreaming of either things getting better or you developing the courage to leave. And you're daydreaming, and sometimes maybe the coffee hits you right. Maybe the sun's shining that day. Maybe you got a pay raise, a little bump at work. Something happened that just gave you a little boost. You get a little confidence. Maybe Friday's rolling around the corner. Not like today, that's Monday, but Friday, and everyone's happy on Friday. It's just another day, but that's for another video. And then, you're like, I think I can persevere. I think this is not going to be too bad. And before you know it, it's like the narcissist picks another fight, leaves. They're cheating. They're abusing you at home. The nightmare. And it's like you look back and you're like, how long have I been in this relationship? And why the thought of getting out scares you. And then ultimately they discard you. And it's like you were afraid of being alone, and they threw you to the street anyway, because they throw you away like if you're a piece of garbage. And then it's like, well, your biggest fears came true, because here you are. You lost the relationship, the abusive relationship that you should have walked out on a long time ago. It's over. It's still over. Now you're alone. Now you're having to recover. Now you're having to deal with exactly what you feared. And then you realize, hey, it's not so bad. It was worse before because you were in your head wondering how it's going to be. How am I going to survive? What can I do? I had somebody just maybe 30 minutes ago. I asked her. I was like, hey, are you and what's his name still together? Are y'all still married? Because last time I saw her, she wasn't wearing her wedding band. And she was like, LOL, yes, still married. And I was like, still living together? And she goes, well, in this economy, yeah. And I'm like, oh, so it's economy based? And she's like, no, silly, we're still married. Ups and downs, She's been having ups and downs with this person for over 10 years. I'm not going to reveal her name, obviously. She doesn't know I do these videos. But, he's a cocaine addict, and he's an alcoholic. And he works like graveyard shift at a restaurant. And she's cried and told me all these things, and I've tried to advise her with my previous experience dealing with addicts. And then I know she's struggling. She's never home. She's like, I'm not gonna tell her age either, but she's still in school. Like, she's getting like doctorates and doing all these it's like constant, just filling up her day with as much work and as much school as possible to cope with the broken home, the broken home. And a lot of people, they live these lives of quiet desperation. Like, she's not wearing the wedding band, but she's not going to go and tell me, hey, we're separated or something like that. But she never wears the wedding band anymore. Right? It's none of my business, right? I'm just going to have my tea like Kermit. But I notice those little things, and, I wish them the best. But when you're dealing with a narcissist, and that thing just comes to an end anyway because they find somebody else and they drop you, and then you're doing like a review of your entire relationship and everything they put you through, and you're wondering, like, are these sons of bitches gonna get what they deserve? because they did a number on me. And just like that, they're already banging someone else. They're already in bed with somebody else. And you're wondering like how you put on 20 pounds from stroke, how you lost 20 pounds from not eating, from the anxiety that you had every day. And it's like you can't even think about dating someone right now. Like for the gentleman on my channel, you know who you are. You can't even perform. You can't even perform, right? Because yeah. So but the new supply is already jumping on someone's thing, right? And you're like, man, how do bad people get away with bad things? How do criminals get away with bad things, and then good people that are trying to do the right thing, they do one little thing, like one little white lie, one little thing, and the whole world just crumbles, right? The whole world crumbles upon them. But no, guys, I'm here to tell you that these psychopaths are constantly living in hell because they do not have a soul. So, and I know some personally, not my ex, but I know some. I know a lot of people, and I have to keep some of these people like within arm's distance, right? The minute you get too close, like I feel that energy. It's like they're a leech, and I feel like I get a glimpse into their real life, and their real life is not all, you know, it's not that glitter that you see on social media. When you actually know these people, you see how they operate, you see what they're struggling with, you see, these women only have like maybe one or two cocktail dresses, one pair of heels, and you see them and they look amazing when you see them in the nightlife, and then you go to their home and it's a broken home, right? They have like a mattress on the ground. The place is a mess. The closet's empty, right? They put on this facade. It's a facade. But they're not what the pictures on social media show you. They're a mess. And the same thing with the gentleman. They have addictions. They have coke addictions, or on Adderall. They're drinking. They can't sleep. They're trying to create this facade on social media so that they can create some sort of funnel, make it look like they're living a great life, so women want to be part of that life. But the only women that want to be part of that life are toxic women that, a good person can see right through that, especially someone that has enough life experience and has been through the stuff that we have been through. You can see through the facade. You can look at the social media and you can see and say, oh wow, there's 10,000 pictures and they're all selfies of you. Like who's taking those pictures besides you? Is anyone with you? Are you doing anything? Do you have family? Like, do you have any pictures of your family? I mean, are you doing anything except making love to yourself in the camera? Because that's what's going on with these narcissists, right? They're walking the punishment, like the punishment that you sometimes daydream and you hope they're gonna get. Believe me, they're getting it so much worse. You can't even fathom what you're going through. If you're a materialistic person and you're judging their karmic debt on their financial or material world, you're looking in the wrong direction, okay? You're looking at the wrong direction. If you see them and they have a nice car and you see that they have all these handbags and they're wearing all this stuff and whatever, no. That's superficial. That's superficial. The suffering that these people are enduring, deep down they know what they are, and deep down they know they're always scamming, they're always conniving, and they always have to be 10 steps ahead of somebody, because if they get exposed, oh no, their cover's blown. Now what are they going to do? They have no friends. They really have no friends. They don't get along with their family, if they even have a family, right? Half of these narcissists and psychopaths, they have they have like 3 or 4 kids out there they don't pay any child support. They're not part of the kid's life. And those are the guys. The women too. They're, oh my God, in the cesspool city that I live in, I see so many really bad mothers, and you see them. They've got more plastic surgery. And they're just on their phone. Their kid is probably gonna get kidnapped. They don't even know what the kid is doing because they were just obsessing over their big fat silicone lips that they just got, right? And their fake eyelashes and just posting nonsense. And and those are the kids of the future that are growing up to this mess. That are gonna grow up to now. They're gonna grow into AI, right? By the time those kids become teenagers, the Earth is no longer gonna exist because the Terminators are gonna walk around. So I'm just going on a rant here, guys. If you really think that the narcissist is happy, you got a lot to learn about these personality disorders. All right. And I've got a lot of videos in this channel, and I know YouTube is flooded with a lot of slop nowadays too that you can learn from, but these people are not happy. They're the epitome of misery on the inside. That's why they do the things they do. That's why they're within 2 or 3 months, they get bored no matter what you give them, buy them, no matter if they're dating like a freaking 11, not a 10, an 11, they'll get bored of that person. They'll get bored of that person. They need to secure a new supply. They need to secure something. They're never satisfied. They're dead inside. Let me repeat that. Narcissists and psychopaths are dead inside. Okay? They are living their karma. So go on with your life, doing the best you can every day to be a little bit better. Enjoy what's in front of you, present moment. I know it's a cliche, but these cliches, these things come from somewhere. They come from truth. Stay in the moment. Don't worry about whether the narcissist is getting theirs or not. That's none of your business anymore. You got to focus on moving forward. And believe me, once you become indifferent, once you're happy, once you move on, those losers, they're going to find a way to try and come back and sabotage your relationship, or they're going to try and weasel their way back in. And that's when you're going to know. That's when you're going to truly see that karma not only came for them, but that they were living their consequences. Okay? Because it's just funny how that works. The minute you start moving on, the minute you're getting your stuff together, all of a sudden, guess who resurfaces? The dead inside psychopath. Check out this video that I did that talks a little more in depth about how the narcissist comes back when they know that you're happy and you've moved on. And it's going to blow you away. Let me know what you guys think in the comments, and I'll catch you on the next video. Have a great night.